So the president got what he wanted with the tax increases. He got about $620 billion over a 10-year period in new revenue. Annualized, that's enough new revenue to fund the government for a little less than a week next year. So if you look at all the tax increases on the rich people in this country, so-called rich, however you want to describe that, it generates $620 billion in annualized enough revenue to fund the government for less than a week, which again suggests that we have got to deal with the spending side of the equation. This is not simply a revenue issue. We have a big spending problem in Washington, D.C. Social Security, I didn't have it up there, I did a little while ago, actually the last 2 years has been operating in a cash deficit. Now everybody will argue, no big deal, we've got money in the so-called trust fund to take us through 2033. Well, the trust fund is simply a bunch of IOUs, which at some point will just be more borrowing when those bills have to be paid. But we can't solve this problem unless we deal with what is driving federal spending. Medicare and Medicaid, for example, are growing at 2 or 3 times the rate of inflation. You can't sustain the budgetary situation that we have in the country today. We have several events coming up in the next couple of months. One is the debt limit. The president has to come to Congress to get authority to raise the amount of money that the federal government can borrow. And we were told on December 31st by Secretary of the Treasury Tim Geithner that he had hit that limit, but that he could use, quote, extraordinary measures to take us a little bit farther. We think that drop dead date is now sometime in the middle of February or around the 1st of March. So we're going to have a vote on raising the debt limit. In the past, at least for the past 3 decades, every major deficit reduction package that Congress has passed occurred around a vote on the debt limit. Now, you maybe heard already the president came out yesterday and said, gosh, you know, if the Republicans hold the debt limit hostage, we aren't going to be able to make Social Security payments, we aren't going to be able to make veterans payments. All these things are going to be used, I think, as scare tactics. But the reality is, if you look at the last 3 decades, every time Congress has had a major achievement, accomplishment when it comes to deficit reduction, it has been around the vote to raise the debt limit. And it strikes me, at least, that if you're going to raise the debt limit, you ought to be focused on doing something about the debt. So I hope we can use this as an opportunity to have a debate, a meaningful debate, about how we can reform some of these government programs to make them work more efficiently and hopefully to cost a lot less over time.